All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. Coach Shrewsberry has joined us. We'll start with some comments from him and then move into questions.
I don't know, I guess I was talking to somebody earlier in the week, and maybe it was Steve Jones, our radio guy, and who's been watching Big Ten basketball for a long time. And, you know, I grew up watching Big Ten basketball, and I've been watching it for a really long time. And I probably told him in the middle of the week, I said, we're playing more like Wisconsin than Wisconsin does. And that's how much respect I have for, like, what Greg's done, what Bo Ryan's done, and this program is, like, they've given me a blueprint for how we need to play a tough, gritty defensive team. You don't beat yourselves on offense. We got to work on that part of it. But you don't beat yourself on offense. You work to get good shots. You play as a team, and you fight on the boards. And, like, my hat's off to them. Like, I enjoy watching this group play because they play together and they play really hard. And, you know, hopefully that's, you know, something that people say about our teams as well.
Jeff?
Micah, a two-part question. I know we saw that you guys had travel issues. Can you walk us through when you guys got here in town, when you got into the gym and that, and also after that first half when you guys could not score? I'm assuming you told your guys, look, we're in this game. If we just hit some shots in the second half, we can get out of here with a victory.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say, like we're not using our travel as an excuse. Like, they beat us, right? They beat us. They played great defense. They did what they needed to do. We left State College, I think, at around 1:30, 1:45, something like that, our time. So 12:30 here. We probably arrived here at about 2:30, 2:45, something like that. Bussed over to the hotel. Got there about 3:08 real quick and got on the bus to come here at 3:45 and kind of adjusted our pregame schedule a little bit. But, you know, I didn't need to talk to them before the game. They don't, like, I'm not giving them any words of wisdom anyway, so they're doing better without me, I think. So, you know, that was our schedule today. But like I said, we're not using that as an excuse. Like, we got beat by a good team. I don't know, at halftime I talked to him about we were really defending well. Like, we were really guarding, but we left some points on the boards. We got to the basket a bunch of times. We got all the way to the rim and missed them, or got our shot blocked, or we turned it over when we had opportunities. And you got to capitalize on those when you're playing a good team. When you're playing a good defensive team, you have to capitalize on it. So I didn't feel like we played particularly well. I thought we could play better. But I told those guys they needed to defend at the same level in the second half, and I thought we did that. They scored, you know, we both scored more points in the second half, but I thought we both fought defensively and made it hard to score on each other.
Jim?
Micah, you held over here to you, right? You held Johnny Davis to 4 points, a season low. What did you think you did well against him today?
I mean, he's so good, right? Like, he's such a tremendous player. I think for us, every time we play a really good player, you know, our goal is more field goal attempts than points. Johnny's an attacker, so he can score off the dribble. He scores in the post. He can go to the glass. You know, our goal was to not foul him, right? Don't send me to the free throw line. So he was struggling a little bit. If we would have started fouling him, now, you know, he makes a couple of free throws. He sees the ball go through the net. He starts playing a little bit better. The one thing we have is we have a good defender. Seth Lundy's a really good defender. And I said this a few games ago after we played Rutgers, and he did the same thing to Ron Harper Jr. He played a great game defensively against Jaden Ivey. He guarded Keegan Murray the other day. He didn't get going until late into those overtimes. You know, when I got here, there was probably nobody that was flying the Seth Lundy all-defensive team banner. But I'm flying it. I know that. He follows the scouting report. He's athletic, and he fights. And he's done a great job on some really good players in this league. And Jalen Pickett chipped in as well at times when Seth was out. So they just made it hard, just as hard as possible. And we got him off the free throw line, which was our goal.
Steve?
That last shot, what were you trying to set up there with that 6.6 seconds left? I think got the inbounds pass. Was that kind of the shot you wanted, or was there something else you were hoping for?
Yeah, you know, we were hoping to get him we were going to take the best shot we could get, whether it was 3 or 2. And, that was a kind of a play that we like to run. Miles came off and shot fake and got him in the air, so he got a, pretty decent look at it. But, our ability to try and get on the glass, that's what, having those guys in there, Greg and John both went pretty hard to get it. They did a good job of getting John off, but I thought if we could get that 3 attempt and a clean look, and then we'd have a chance to chip it in with John going to the glass right there. It just didn't work out for us.
Abby?
Over here. Well, you guys were shutting down Johnny Davis and Brad Davison. Chucky Hepburn and Tyler Wall really stepped up, especially in the first half. Were you kind of expecting that from them, and how did you adjust to that in the second half?
Yeah, that's one thing that we talked about is, it takes total team effort on Johnny and Brad. Like they put so much pressure on your defense. But Tyler Wall's such a good player, and he's an important player for him that you can't, like, even though we're helping off of him, you can't forget about him because they can go to him and do different things. So, he hurt us, like, scoring around the basket and just kind of doing what he does. Like, he's the unsung hero. Chucky played, he played really well and made some key baskets for him. Kind of gives them that little energy burst that they need when they're slow and lacking at times. They were both guys that we knew going into the game. Like, if you were in our practice, you would have heard me say a bunch of times, Tyler Wall is a good player. Like, even though we're helping off of him, doesn't mean he's a bum. Like, that dude can play. And Chucky's kind of a wild card. And, we got the good Chucky. In terms of, bad for us, but good for them.
Abby?
Kind of a follow-up, just, Stephen Crowell also kind of went in and stepped up too. Were you aware of his three-point shooting, and how bad was that for you guys today?
Yeah, I was aware. They pay me to coach this team, but you gotta pick your poison a little bit. Like those guys drive the ball so hard, and you have to stop them at some point in time. And we need to do a better job of our defensive coverage when against him. And he made some key threes, but you gotta live with something. Right, you can't take away everything defensively, or you're fantastic defense. And we're a really good defense, but we're not to the fantastic level yet. So, unfortunately, some guys beat you, and you can't. If you go to something different too early, then they start to read it and pick you apart. So we had to try and hold something back late. It was just too late for us.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.